Thanks for those really kind words. I know Jens was really looking forward to being here, and various health issues made it impossible for him to be here. I had always planned to come down for this, and I'm honored to be here. I insisted that he write some words for me to deliver for him. Also, he sent down ahead of time a gift for Dr. Zervos that he wanted me to present to him today. And it is one of those maquettes that he mentioned. It's a mock-up of the figure that's in the middle of the sculpture, the Troika sculpture. He wanted this to have this for your office or your home. Now these are the words that my father sent along, wanted me to read to you today. In 1974, when Jens Zorn was advising first and second year undergraduates at the University of Michigan, she became very worried about many students who had put themselves on a rigorous pre-med academic track without really understanding how their own talents, energies, and desires match the realities of a physician's career. This concern led her to start a course titled Perspectives on Careers in Healthcare. This is a seminar for 25 students, and it met in our living room every Thursday evening during the semester. During each of those evenings, students had a chance to converse with healthcare professionals who had been invited not so much to lecture, but to briefly describe the ways in which they had made their own career decisions and to tell about the realities of their professional situations. The students would then ask questions and were then obligated as homework to write their personal reactions of the evening's discussions. And each evening would have its own focus, sometimes on a particular field of medicine, but often on other career choices, for example, dentistry, nursing, public health. The course first was offered in the winter term of 1974. It became legendary as it continued with full enrollments for 38 years, until Fran retired in 2012. In 1986, Emanuel Zervos was an undergraduate at Michigan. He enrolled in Fran's course, not because he had doubts about his academic direction, but to broaden his understanding of the healthcare professions. He made excellent use of the opportunities, often engaging Fran in wide-ranging discussions during office hours. They became friends. Later that summer, indeed, we hired Manny to build us a cedar closet in the upper reaches of our house. During his time in medical school, he often returned to be one of Fran's speakers on Thursday evenings. In 2013, Manny was visiting Ann Arbor and stopped by our house. At that time, our living room was cluttered with preliminary models for several commemorative sculpture projects of mine. Having also seen some of my work on the Michigan campus, Manny asked, "Could you make something for the new Cancer Center in East Carolina?" I sent him several proposals, and he selected one to carry to the administration. In mid-2018, approvals were in hand. The design work began for the sculpture that was delivered to you just 2 weeks ago. I have been a professor of physics at the University of Michigan since 1962, a time when many of us in experimental research still built our own apparatuses from the ground up. I also had a strong interest in graphic arts, but I had not tried sculpture. This changed in 1996 when I responded to our department's need for a sculpture to honor a colleague who had just died of cancer at the apex of his career. The success of this work led me to 5 more outdoor installations on the Michigan campus. Beyond these, my commemorative sculptures can be found at MIT, Stanford, the University of Nevada, the University of Mexico, and now here at East Carolina University. A distinguished senior colleague recently asked me why I was not giving more time to doing real physics, to which I responded, well, in 20 years, both your papers and mine will be in a landfill somewhere, but the sculptures will still be here. I'm fortunate to have access to the physics department's well-equipped instrument shop. The form and size of my sculptures are strongly influenced by the capacities of the machines in that shop. So cutting, milling, bending, rolling, and welding are routine, but not casting, forging, or extruding. I do all the preliminary work myself, but I rely on the expertise of professional artisans when fabricating the final versions of large sculptures. Artisans deserve name credit. They are essential in the transformation of the sculptor's idea into an elegant work for the viewer's pleasure. Artisans deserve the same accolades that we give to musical performers who transpose a composer's score into an acoustic delight. Your new sculpture was built in collaboration with Joshua Blackman. Troika is an abstract representation of chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation as approaches to the treatment of cancer. The upward reach conveys aspiration to a better future. The join at the top reminds us that actions taken together often yield more than the net of the same actions taken individually. The central figure in a protective space shows us that the goal of treatment is the advance of a patient's well-being. Let me conclude first by thanking Jay Walton and Chris Waddell for all they have done to help this project along. Their support was essential. And finally, to Dr. Emanuel Zervos. Manny, it has been a privilege to reconnect with you in our joint creation of Troika, a work that we both hope will provide pleasure, comfort, and inspiration for those who visit the healing garden of this cancer center. Thank you very much, and thank you from our whole family for being here today to honor my father's work, and Dr. Zervos for helping out doing this. Thank you.
Eric, thank you for traveling all the way here and sharing your father's words with us.